Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to our members and especially to our lecturer, Dr. Hafizal bin Hanifah. So today our group will present about our project assessment and the title is about corruption. Okay, firstly I will introduce my group members, which is me, Muhammad Faiz bin Zamzam, and next is Chong Jimpang, and third is Muhammad Naim bin Wazir, and fourth is Muhammad Fikri bin Muhammad Puzi, and the second last is Choi Mangke, and the lastly is Akila Zahira binti Muhammad Zain. Okay, first I will present about introduction. So, corruption is defined as an act of abuse of power to enrich or give an advantage to individuals, family members and close acquaintances when a person is entrusted with the responsibility of administering public resource. Corruption is common in the public and private sectors, and even today it occurs in international institutions, religious institutions, as well as voluntary bodies and sport bodies. Corruption is one of the main reasons for stifling economic growth, losing interest in foreign investment, increasing administrative and transaction costs, denying people access to service, and leading to political instability. Okay, next, I and Muhammad Naim bin Wazir will present about the factors that influence the development of corruption. Firstly is about political and economic environment. The political and economic climate has a major impact on the phenomenon of corruption. The possibility of corruption increases when a country's economic activities are more tightly controlled and monitored, giving authorities greater influence in decision making and more incentive to accept bribes to circumvent penalties, especially where the authorities are given the opportunity to make discretionary judgments while still subject to regulation, so there is a high potential for corruption to happen. And next is about professional ethics and legislation. Another important aspect in the emergence and spread of corruption is the lack of legislation recognizing it as a criminal offence, as well as prosecution and punishment for it. Next is, although some countries manage criminal corruption efficiently, there are still prevalent types of legal corruption. And the lastly is corruption leads to a lack of openness and oversight by regulatory organizations. As a result, in the absence of a strong legal framework or political will to rule, corruption flourished, allowing both politics and the economy to operate in secrets. That's all from me.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Naim bin Wazir. My metric number is CN200145. Next is for the factor that influence the development of corruption for habits, customs, tradition, and demography. First, for habits, there are also differing norms in some circumstances, like a thank you in the form of a present for a service for which this person has already been compensated with a wage is considered civility, while in others it is deemed corruption. Next is for tradition. Some kinds of corruption are also linked to an informal form of a social security, in which the family or close community looks for its member only. Next is for custom. The impact of majority Protestantism has been studied multiple times and has been shown to be a crucial factor in a country is low level of corruption. And for the last one is for demography. Patriarchal society are more prone to corruption. Several studies have found that men and women are both corrupt to varying degrees.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Akila Zahira binti Muhammad Zain. My metric number AN210095. I would like to present about the second question, which is to select a model country that is successful in controlling corruption and discuss and compare the measures taken in that country to measures in Malaysia. The country that is succeeding in controlling corruption is Singapore, which recorded an overall achievement in 85 in the 2050 Perception Index (CPI) released by Transparency International, a Berlin-based observer body. Corruption reduction has been a prominent government priority since Singapore established self-governance in 1959. It was crucial for Singapore, a small city-state, to combat corruption in order to ensure the existence of their country. Controlling corruption has evolved into a key component of their government structure. Singapore had to run on a meritocratic concept so that people could understand that rewards are connected to the work they put in and not obtained through unethical means if we wanted to prosper. There are 5 main pillars that make up a Singapore successful framework for controlling corruption, which is political will, law adjudication, enforcement, and public administration.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Fikri Muhammad Fuzi and my metric number is CN200138. Right, the Singapore People Action Party, or known as PAP, is still widely regarded as a honest and a competent organisation. The same cannot be said for the United Malay Nation organisation, which has clung the power nearly 6 decades, and its leader is now embroiled in a scandal linked to state investment fund in One Malaysia Development Berhad, which has racked up into up 11 billion in debt. So I'm going to tell you guys about the point number 2 is the jurisdiction in Singapore is more strict and compliant than Malaysia. The punishment is also imposed is so heavier to compare to the Malaysia, which Singapore has more strict about the corruption within the Malaysia. And what I think is the spirit of love for the country in Malaysia is less compared to the Singapore, because Singapore men must be included in the military training to form an obedient and love for the country and never accept bribes that can bring down their country.
My name is Troyman K and my metric number is 200,227.
Good morning to the total. My name is Chong Chin Pang and my matrix number is AN200317. Today we would discuss about the can technological innovation reduce the corruption. For this part, I'm with my group member Choi Man K. Now for us, we say yes, and why the technological innovation can reduce the corruption. First, it can increase the vertical accountability, lowers corruption, and the second is easier to repay the corruption and obtain the official information. For the third one is to have the ability to significantly at the battle against the corruption. And the fourth one is we can help to discover and lessen corruption and bribery in a variety of way. The last one is ICT is enables information exchange across the social scope among government institutions and between the government and its convenience. Thank you.
For the conclusion, corruption not only makes it difficult to work in an organization, but it also has an impact on a country's economy and the effectiveness of numerous services. The government must impose harsher measures to combat corruption. Existing laws must be properly enforced, and new ones must be enacted if necessary. That's all from this group. Thank you.